The situation at RAF Wethersfield is worse than we thought. You may have seen last week videos of them doing karaoke in the evenings there and getting into a bit of a scrap in the dining room. But now a whistleblower from the hotel has spoken exclusively to GB News with shocking footage of the site manager's office having been basically smashed up, and an email showing that an asylum seeker at the hotel was arrested for a pretty serious alleged crime. Make sure you stick around to see what that is towards the end of this video. And we have got a terrifying new update on the tuberculosis rumours that we were hearing about last week. Let's get into it, folks, but before we do, make sure you're subscribed down below to Reason so that you can stay up to date with all the news here. So let's take a look at this footage that we have. So there you've got that smashed up door. Absolutely shocking. Absolutely shocking. And then you can see there's some computers on the floor, and you'll start to see in a moment, I don't know if that is a weight on the floor. You can see all that smashed glass there, all over the chairs, all over the floor. And you've got to ask yourselves, folks, if you were invited into somebody else's home and allowed to stay for free, is this how you would treat it? I certainly know what the answer is in my case. Now let's take a look at some of the shocking details and other revelations that we have got about RAF Wethersfield. It gets worse than that, folks, trust me. We have got plenty to show you today in this GB News exclusive. They smashed up doors and windows while computers and other items were thrown to the office floor, as you have just seen. And the whistleblower told GB News in one of their rooms, listen to this, guys. In one of their rooms, we found blood everywhere, thousands of pounds worth of stolen stuff. The service user, i.e. asylum seeker, was carrying weapons and a piece of sharp broken glass inside his pocket, an unknown lady's driving license, and much more. That is absolutely terrifying, and I feel really worried about the staff who are working at the hotel. You have had whistleblowers going to the press complaining, and also tuberculosis. I'm going to get to that momentarily. Don't you worry, guys. You're going to give you an update on that. But you've got staff there freaking out saying, why don't we have proper PPE to protect ourselves from tuberculosis whilst we are working at this migrant hotel? We don't want to get it. And we also had, you may have seen if you're subscribed to the channel, which you should be, you will have seen last week a video, or a few days ago, a video I did where someone went into the local hospital where the migrants from this hotel are going for tuberculosis tests, and the guy speaks to the receptionist about it and says, you know, we know these guys are here because they're being tested for tuberculosis. Can you tell me how many of them have been in? And the guy who sat next to these migrants in the waiting room, he shoots up and stands up and is like, excuse me? Tuberculosis? My wife has cancer. She's got basically no immune system at the moment. I cannot risk sitting next to these guys, risking getting tuberculosis. Absolutely hell no. It's not really something that's been covered in the press much. But anyway, the whistleblower says that the illegal migrants regularly fight each other. So it wasn't just that one clip that we saw last week where it was caught on camera. That wasn't a one-off, folks. Apparently this is a common occurrence. I mean, this place sounds like absolute hell. It's absolutely crazy, and they are allowed to come and go as they please. And you will have seen, folks, in the footage that we were looking at, that logo on there saying "Stop the Wethersfield buses," and that is a campaign. Do go and follow them on social media because they have been posting some really shocking updates about what is going on here. But what they do is they give these migrants free bus services every single day into to go into town, into Braintree, and to go into Chelmsford. And what do? Well, we hear that they allegedly are stealing a load of stuff from the shops, and then they go back to the hotels, and the staff are saying they're often coming back with a load of stolen stuff. The guys only get 50 quid a week on an Aspen card, only so much shopping you can do with that if you're going shopping every single day in Chelmsford. But also the women are terrified too, and so this campaign group, they are trying to get rape alarms out to all the women in Chelmsford and in Braintree, because they're terrified, because apparently these guys, they sit around all day in the town centre looking at girls funny. This is what none of us asked for this. None of us asked for this. And there was also some CCTV footage of an asylum seeker apparently trying to break into a house. I did see that, but it wasn't very clear. Now, I told you guys at the beginning of this video that somebody was arrested, and that was for an alleged sexual harassment. Okay, there seems to be a running theme with folks in these hotels, doesn't there? Not all of them, of course. This is, but the crimes that we do see committed and people nicked for, who are staying in those hotels, we often see this, don't we? Now, of course, this is alleged, nothing confirmed, but somebody was arrested. You can see this email. It says Wethersfield incident, sexual harassment, or sexual harassment in their case, can't spell. And it says an update. Police officers arrived on the site and was met by the site managers. Police officers were escorted to the service users, that's what they call the asylum seekers there, service users accommodation, where he was subsequently placed under arrest. Police and the service user departed at 3:15 in the afternoon. So someone's been arrested there for an alleged sexual harassment. We don't know who to. Was it perhaps someone who was working at the hotel, or was it perhaps when they were on one of their trips into town? I do not know, folks, and I can't really speculate if there's a police investigation going on. But that really should ring some alarm bells about the kind of people that we may be bringing into this country. And now, the thing that I've been really keen to show you guys is the tuberculosis updates, because I am really worried about this. Let's not forget, guys, we just had the COVID inquiry report come out, basically advising the government that if we have a disease outbreak again, we need to make sure that we lock down harder and sooner. So that worries me, that if we end up with some kind of disease outbreak, that we are going to be locked in our homes again. I don't think Keir Starmer's going to be too concerned about taking away your civil liberties to do that. Now, why have I brought up the COVID inquiry? Well, if we end up with an outbreak of tuberculosis, folks, that's where we could be. We could be locked in our homes again. Do you want that? Well, where are we getting tuberculosis from? Well, it might just be coming across on the boats, because we've been hearing about people from this site, and I don't know about other sites. This word's got out of this site because of staff who are fed up of the working conditions there and all of the chaos that goes on. Talking to the press, we've heard that a lot of people there have been getting tested. It was confirmed back in 2023. There was confirmation of positive tests of tuberculosis at the site, and then here. So I told you there was some people were filmed in the hospital going there for tests the other day. Now, what this here is a list. We've blurred out the names here. This was given to GB News as well. And this is a list of all the people who have gone missing from the hotel. They have run off. So not only have you got a load of random men running, just who knows where they are, can't track them, don't know, haven't got a clue, could be up to what, God knows what crimes. These people don't have a right to work. They'll presumably lose their 50 quid a week on their Aspen card if they aren't checking in at the hotel. So, they might be up to all sorts of criminality to make the money, to make their way, and stealing stuff as well to get what they need. But the other concern is them spreading tuberculosis. And you might say, oh, why would you think these guys have tuberculosis, Chloe? Well, do you see that there are a couple of names on this list that are highlighted in yellow? Those are apparently people who have tested positive for tuberculosis and are supposed to be isolating in their rooms so that they don't spread it to anyone. Those two people have decided to be irresponsible morons and not isolate and go missing, and just they're free walking about society. And tuberculosis, folks, it is an airborne disease. You can catch it by just being around people and being breathed on and sneezed on. So fantastic, fantastic. The new patient zeros just let out free into society. And the other thing I'm hearing, folks, is also HIV. We did a lot of work to get that out of this country. We basically got rid of it. And the only place where it's coming from now is from people bringing it into the country from elsewhere. And we're hearing also that you're seeing quite a lot of cases of these people bringing HIV with them. Of course, this doesn't go for all of them, but you only need a few of them to cause a scary, scary outbreak, especially when they are in a hotel full of guys who are all mixing all day, every day. Okay, the number of people I run into on a daily basis is probably far lower than the number of people you interact with if you're living in a hotel with 300-400 mates that you hang out with all day and do karaoke with, as they do at RAF Wethersfield. This is really, 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 really concerning, and I'm not seeing this tuberculosis thing being covered in the press properly, folks. I'm not seeing it, so that's why I'm bringing it to you here at Reasoned. Make sure you subscribe to us down below so that you can stay up to date with everything, because of course we're often highlighting stories that you don't see out there in the mainstream press as much as you should. Anyway, I'm Chloe Dobbs. Thank you very much for watching. See you all in the next video.